It is April 27th, time for a 500-mile road trip in a Tesla Model 3 mid-range version. I've got 260 miles of range. I'm gonna have a couple of supercharger stops. The map has already navigated them and is directing me to where to go. Here we go. I'm in town and I'm going to turn on autopilot. So I just press this twice and now the car is driving. It's keeping me a safe distance from the car in front of me, and it is keeping me between the lines. So that's it. I don't have to do anything until I need to turn, right? It's not full auto driving yet. It's just autopilot. So it will keep me in my lane and keep me a safe distance, but it will not actually take me different places on side roads. And right now you can see that there's a red light coming up, and so the traffic in front of me is slowing down. I'm not pressing on the pedal. My foot is away from both pedals. So the car is just slowing itself to a stop. And then now we're just gonna go again. And again, I'm not pressing the accelerator or the brake. The car is just doing all of this. So pretty sweet. And once you get on the highway and do this for hours on end, it's so relaxing. Now, the screen is indicating that it needs to know that I'm still paying attention. So I just exert a small force on the steering wheel and it's happy again. That way it makes sure that the driver is paying attention, and it's important that I am engaged with the traffic. Now, we're about to, the road splits into two, and it isn't always happy here. So we'll see what happens. Right? I don't touch anything, and then it just picks a lane. And I happen to pick the lane that I want to be in. So, that's good. All right, here we are about in Bloomsburg, PA. And I am about to go to my first charging stop. And there they are. Super easy to find. Okay, so here's what supercharging looks like. And that's it. So as you can see, supercharging is super easy. You pick up the handle, you press the button on it, and that opens the charge port. You plug it in, and it's beginning to charge. All right, you can see the charge rate go up to 50 kilowatts, and I'm charging at 400 miles per hour of charging. And then it's settling in right at 117. Okay, I've been charging for a little bit of time. It's 2:36. Time to go. All right, that is going to magically put itself down. And now I am off to my next supercharger. And that's it. You just stay for a few minutes and then you go. People are really worried about superchargers and having to sit there for a while, and then if you have to sit there for an hour, then what if someone else is there, and if they take up more time and you have to wait for them. Well, if it only takes 13 minutes, it's not much more time than it takes to fill up a gas tank, which is like 5 to 7 minutes, so it's not really a concern. If we look at my charging situation here, the graph is showing me that I got to 60% at that last supercharger, and then I left. The reason I left early is because the longer you stay at a supercharger, the slower you charge. Once you charge up to 50% of your battery, then the charge rate slows down to protect the battery. So once I get to about 50%, I'm just gonna go to the next supercharger so that I don't charge at that slower rate. And that typically saves me time overall. Charge rate just went down below 100 kilowatts. Time to go. Right.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Zion Road.
And we're off. So, someone left a note on that charging station saying that it wasn't working. But I tried it anyway and it worked. So we're good. Went up to full speed mighty quick, and now we are ready to rock. We are going to Falls Creek. Whoa, buddy. Navigate on autopilot needs a little bit of adjustment there. That was an intense exit off the highway, but the car exited off the highway by itself. You be the judge as to how smooth that was. But that's why it's still in beta, and that's also why I typically take over at that point. I just wanted to see what it would do. Sometimes it is very smooth. That time definitely crossed the line just a smidge. Supercharger number 3. Let's go. In it. Okay, that's beautiful. All right, now just charge up. I hope you're seeing how easy this is. I've taken road trips all my life. Driven in gas-powered cars, ridden an electric motorcycle cross-country several times, and it is absolutely the easiest to do it in a autopilot-enabled Tesla Model 3, or Model S or Model X, but I have the 3. And then supercharging is also super easy, and they're everywhere. You can find them all over the place. Look up online a website called abetterrouteplanner.com, and it shows all of the Tesla supercharging stations across the country. You can find them near you. It's amazing. Okay, charged up, ready to go. Charge up at these places, and there's someone here when I arrive, and they're still here when I leave. And they're just like hanging out charging, and it's like, do you like just sitting at a charger? Why don't you just move on to the next one? Oh, got some kettle corn sour cream and onion chips. Oh yeah, some Honest tea in a glass bottle. Better than plastic. We're being overrun by plastic these days. Come on, people. Less plastic, more glass. Hey, imagine that. Construction on I-80 in the middle of Pennsylvania. Wow, what a huge surprise that is. All right, how are we doing? The car has steered itself to the exit. That was smoother. Nice job, electric car. I call it Kit after the Knight Rider car, so nice driving, Kit. I haven't got it to respond to me with the voice from Knight Rider yet, but we'll work on that. So, listening to Cabaret with Alan Cumming, love it. And just 2 miles off the highway to get to this next charging station, and it is 6:23, and I've got about 95 miles to Cleveland, Ohio. We're gonna be dancing all night long. It's 6:42. And I've got plenty of charge to get to the next supercharger, so we're just gonna do that. The charge rate went from 117 down to the 90s, so let's get out of here. I just watched Avengers last night, Avengers Endgame, so I'm feeling like superhero movements are appropriate. Let's go.
Now take the Pennsylvania 60 South Road on the right.
Okay, autopilot, do your thing. Whoa, whoa. Sometimes letting autopilot take over gets a little exciting, but it really works. Nice. Okay, on the highway again, 6:46. O-H-I-O. Made it to Ohio, 6:49 p.m. And heading to the supercharger in Mansfield. All right, here we are going by the closed Lordstown plant. This has been a GM plant for decades. I've driven by it many, many times. And now the parking lot is empty. All right, heading to the last charging stop, 2.2 miles. Navigate on autopilot has been working like a boss. So I'm just chilling and letting the car do the driving. It seems to be doing more and more. One of the cool things Tesla can do is they can do updates to the software in the car over Wi-Fi. So while I'm asleep, Tesla will upgrade my car. Like last month, they gave it 5% extra power. How sweet is that? And also, what other car company does that? No other car company does that. Mansfield, Ohio, 7:40 p.m. Just a few miles from my destination. I love that. It's like using the Force. And just gonna get a little top-up charge. That'll get me on my way tomorrow, just in case I can't plug in overnight. 7:55 p.m. Time to leave Macedonia, Ohio. Time to go dancing! Yes! Whoa, check out that funky building! Is that where I'm going?
On the left.
Beachland! Ballroom! That's what I'm talking about. Okay, now to find parking. Here's the deal. I arrived at 8:25 p.m., 5 minutes ahead of the original scheduled time. Even though I was able to charge extra above and beyond where I needed to go, because you gotta stop more often for shorter periods of time. That does a couple of things. One, it cuts down on your travel time. Number two, it allows more people to use the Tesla superchargers because you're only using it for 15 minutes maximum, and then you leave instead of using it for a full hour and not getting as much of a range benefit. So if you've got questions, I've got answers. Feel free to write questions below. I'll be happy to comment on them and give you the best information that I have. So hope you enjoyed the trip. I certainly did. Now it's time to dance. Peace.